Hello everybody, it's Misery here, and today we'll be talking about the new FNAF movie. Spoilers to everyone, because this is a spoiler review. Remember to subscribe, hit the notification button so you don't miss an awesome upload by me. And remember, I recommend not watching this video if you haven't seen the movie yet, because it's spoilers, loads of spoilers. But yeah, anyway, let's just get into it. Rating, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 because it is worth waiting for. If you're a really big FNAF fan like me, like 8 years of my life I've loved it for, like, since the second game was like, I loved it. But there's some parts of this movie where I was like, why? I was with my friend, I was watching it with my friend, like, I watched it from 8 o'clock to like nearly 10, from 10 to 10, and I was like, especially if I'm going to say it right now, it was one bit, the building a fort scene. I was like, Caden, what are we watching, bro? What is this movie? Then it later reveals that the animatronics are just like trying to get Abby closer to them. If you don't know who Abby is, she's like basically the main character, like the main character of the movie. Basically focusing around her and Mike, trying to get the relationship like really good, because they live with each other, like it's only just them, brother and sister. So it's basically, the video is not, I'm saying video, the film is mostly around them trying to build the relationship good. But then obviously at the end it's like perfect at the end. But yeah, my opinion on the movie. Oh, again, 9 out of 10. It could have been, well, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 because there's some bits, I'm going to talk about them later on, but there's some bits, honestly, where I was like, why? Especially the fort scene, where they build a fort, I was like, why? But yeah, that scene just killed me. I was like, why? I was laughing my head off. Especially when Bonnie falls over and puts his thumbs up, so that he's okay. I was like, oh my god. But yeah, alright, so basically, obviously, well, I've just said, obviously, the main story. I like how, like, they do, like, night 1, night 2, night 3, night 4, and night 5. Like, it gets weirder and weirder the more it progresses to each night. In my opinion, it's not really a horror movie. It's not that much horror that I want. I wanted it to be more of a horror movie than it actually was. It's more of a thriller. Like, I think it's more towards kids now. Obviously, like, I don't know, because it's like, I don't know, but anyway, animatronics, spot on, from, you wouldn't believe, like, an indie game that made by just one guy could turn into this. Like, they had spot on animatronics. I don't even want to hear it. Like, spot on animatronics, like, it was perfect. Except for one, which I'm going to talk about later. Which this animatronic just like made me laugh so much when I seen it. And then he actually gets into the pizzeria. Obviously each night's going to progress and get weirder and weirder. So the first night wasn't a big deal. He has this like, oh, I don't know how to explain the movie. It's good. Okay, night 1. We're getting to night 1 now. So. Mike's like, Mike just sleeps through the whole night. I don't know how, don't know why. He just sleeps trying. So basically, he sleeps through the night trying to having these pills to try and get to the same like moment in his life where he's at camping and Gary gets kidnapped. Seeing if he can try and change the past. Obviously, you know, it's gonna get weirder and weirder as the night progresses. So the night 1 wasn't a big deal whatsoever. He looks around the pizzeria a bit, sees the animatronics, and everything's fine. That's night 1 done. Obviously, yeah. And then we go to a place, Sparky's Diner, or Sparky's Cafe. If you don't know who Sparky is, he's actually a secret character or I don't know if it's a Reddit post, but in the first ever game there was like a picture in the party service room with a dog hiding like outside the door in part of the service. He was like a little Easter egg, and he is in the movie. We'll get into that in a bit. Yeah, but when we go into the cafe, So we have Aunt Jane, Max and Doug, and Max's brother Jeff, and we get introduced to someone who I didn't even know who was going to be in the movie. Matt Pat, the one and only master, the king of FNAF fairies, was in the movie. I was like shocked. I was so shocked to see that. But we're introduced to him, and he says it's just a fairy, talking about obviously food and everything. Obviously that's a reference to his food fairy videos or channel. After that, after they've made a plan and everything, we get to they obviously get into the place. They get into the place, I think it's second night or third, I don't know, but anyway, when they get into the place, because I'm not, obviously the nights aren't really bothered about, but they get into the place, obviously it's not going to go well for them at all whatsoever. So they get into the place, and just right away, so they go into the kitchen, leave Carl alone, and oh my god, literally straight away, kitchen, like we've seen it a lot in the trailer, obviously Cupcake just absolutely like, Chica just pops up behind him, like the Cupcake jumps at him onto his face, and they're screaming out, and we cut to Jeff at the cameras. He goes into security office. Before he absolutely destroys the security cameras, he hears screaming, and Hank's running. The front one, like, I was laughing my head off. Hank's scream, his scream is so hilarious. Like, he was, it was like, it reminded me of Scooby-Doo when they were like run. But he's so funny in this movie when he screams. Obviously he gets into the janitor room, and Jeff goes to him. Hank hears him outside. Of course, the door's locked. And guess who's behind him in the janitor room? Bonnie is literally just right behind him, like, hello. And then, literally, like, we hear another crunch, like, it was the sounds. I know it's not like, didn't show the death, but the sounds. It was like we're hearing Hank screaming and like crunching sounds and everything. It was horrible. And then the door opens, blood on the door, and Bonnie comes out like, you're supposed to be here, mate. I think you should run. Jeff runs, obviously, gets in the security office. Bonnie's gone when he looks on the cameras, and then he looks again at the show stage. Chica and Bonnie are there. Chica puts the Cupcake inside the vent. The Cupcake goes, you think you can get me? You think you can run for me? Goes into the vent, absolutely sprints into the vent, like, at him, but obviously he's too tiny to get out, like, too tiny to get through the vent, and he's stopped straight away. He couldn't even get through. He was just like barricaded. He couldn't get through that vent. But anyway, Jeff just like, yeah, we have him swearing, but when he sees out the cameras, which, yeah, there's not that much swearing in this movie. Anyway, next, this is a long video. Alright. There's so much to talk about, honestly. Next, we have, so Jeff goes out the door, because the door opens by, obviously, you know, Cassidy would open that door. He goes through the door locks, and then really Foxy with his voice. I swear, what's his name? I forgot his name. I actually forgot his name. The actor of Glamrock Freddy and Funtime Freddy and a few others. I think it's Kenny or something. But he voiced the Foxy, and he was like dum 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 dum. He's literally in the hallway, and then we have like a few flashes in the darkness, like a few dark flashes, and then the only time we hear the original jump scare from FNAF 1 was from Foxy, and he sprints at Buddy Jeff, and then we just hear a scream, and that's it. We already know he did. And then we have Max. Max obviously calls Jeff, can't hear him, so she goes into the pizzeria because she's dumb. Goes into the pizzeria, Freddy solves it, like, hey, come with me. She follows him, and then we get introduced with Freddy in Parts and Service. And she's like, let's get a chair and go in front of his face. Does that. And we already know what happens. She gets grabbed by the soul. But then the most unexpected death that I was like, oh my god, I would not expect that. Me and my friend was like, oh my god. She gets snapped in half. Like, Freddy, her legs just fall on the ground. And I was like, how is this a 13 in the US? Like, she gets bloody snapped. Like, it's, that's just snapped, absolutely bodied. And that's then dead. And literally straight away, he has his dream, and the kids want Abby. They literally straight away say they want Abby, and after that, Golden Freddy goes. Everyone, you can't see anyone. Everyone's gone, and they use Garrett and everyone, saying that, oh my god, he loves them. He wants to be with them always. She really likes them. I think they could take care of her. So he says yes, not thinking straight. And then they're all gone, and then he realises this is a mistake, and then all the kids start absolutely barring him, like all blood everywhere. And then he wakes up into the trapped chair, and literally he was about and then he luckily gets out of it alive, which I was hoping would have happened. And then this is the scene. Once he gets out of the chair, the trap chair, obviously we get killed, he looks behind him, he sees Max, Jeff, Carl and Hank in these suits, and oh my god, Max didn't look gory. Max was just like really. Hank was inside of the Sparky the dog animatronic suit. Yes, Sparky the dog is official now. Jeff has like a little slice on his face, but I was about to be sick when I seen Carl. Carl's face is absolutely mutilated. His face is like oh my god. Anyway, meanwhile, Golden Freddy goes to the bloody kid's house, kills Aunt Jane. I was like, yeah, boy. And then Abby's like, Freddy, and then Cassie's like, not Freddy. Sadly, they didn't say anything about the name of Golden Freddy. They didn't say Golden Freddy or anything. But anyway, they take Abby and said, how are we gonna get back? I was like, I've got an idea. And we get introduced to Corey X Kenshin, because his name is Corey Kenshin. Sorry about that. I'm gonna shut up now. But yeah, they get introduced to him, and yeah, we already know how it's gonna go out. He didn't get killed off. But yeah, they get to the in front of the pizzeria where it shows first ever teaser, where they're in front of the pizzeria. I didn't know. You don't know. Anyway, then it's like realised that the whole thought thing and everything was just trying to get Abby closer to them, so she would rather be with them. But yeah, then we have loads of bits where they're all trying to run and everything. Oh yeah, oh my god, I keep forgetting. While obviously Abby's gone, when Mike goes, oh my god, I'm missing out so much. Back to where Mike gets out of the thing, he's in the hallway, Fox is about to get him, and then it blacks out, and Vanessa saves him, and then she tells everything about, and then she says about how she was the daughter, and then it's like that said where she's the daughter of Afton, and Afton's the one who killed everything, and she knew Garrett, because in the picture she showed him, she's holding the airplane that Garrett had. So Mike is like, oh my god. He realizes that really Abby, oh my god, I'm forgetting everything. He realizes that Abby's gonna get taken, so he absolutely gets in the car, but I don't know if it was I think it was like a Easter egg to the Midnight Motorist thing where you have to try to avoid the cards. Executes him, and then they both run, and then Abby gets chased by Foxy, and then before, this is the most badass scene. Before Mike can get to her, we get introduced to Spring Bonnie / Matthew Leonard / Afton, and this is the most badass scene. Now the whole last 10 minutes is the most badass scene. He comes out into the darkness from the inside room, and oh my god, he absolutely bodies him, grabs him, yeets him onto the ground, and boots him in the head. But before that, he says, like, the voice, everything was perfect. They had like a voice changer in him. People keep having a problem with that, but I loved it. But it was so perfect. Like, it was like, now I kill your brother, and so I killed you. You didn't tell me you had a sister, and now I can kill the older brother and her. Like, that's so cringy. But anyway. So he says about everything, and he's like, go to hell, which is obviously an Easter egg to FNAF 6, where, you know, Henry. Anyway, I've got a headache, I do, and my voice hurts. Near the end. Obviously Foxy's gonna get electrocuted by, Vanessa just jumps in, obviously, by being a hero. Electrocutes Foxy. But another thing, Foxy's scene with trying to find Abby was another really good scene, like, peak cinema. Then back to Springtrap. Like, he boots Mike in the head, and it's so, I love that scene. The 10 minutes of that, the last 10 minutes was, mwah. It was absolutely mwah. Beautiful. And it, like, he takes off his mask and says that the loyalty, that because Vanessa gets a gun, pulls it at her own father, and shoots him. Actually, his own father. And then, obviously, it reveals that the animatronics don't know anything about. Obviously, the kids don't know about him killing them. So he grabs Vanessa by the neck since she's shot him, and stabs her in the stomach. And that's her down. And then Abby, yes, Abby, draws a picture of Spring Bunny killing the kids, puts it on the wall. Mike goes to the lights, turns off, puts all the lights to that picture, and puts the lights on him, so it's directed at him. The animatronics see the picture and realise he killed us. He killed us. They all realise, and then Cupcake bites him, setting off the spring locks, and that's when the spring locks happen. Not the best, not that much blood, but yeah, it felt like when every's like, right in his, all in his stomach, everything. And then he grabs his mask and says, "I always come back," and then keeps on getting spring locked. And then another peak cinema scene. The whole place is getting destroyed. Vanessa and him. Mike grabs Vanessa. Abby goes out. They all go out that pizzeria, and Freddy screams like he does like a roar. And that was peak cinema. And they grab him, drag him into this safe room. Drag him into a safe room. And that's where we get now. And then after we get to move on to the hospital scene where Mike is with Vanessa, and then yeah. And then after that, they say, "Oh yeah, shall we go see we might be able to see our old friends." And then that cuts to another peak cinema moment. It shows everything, all the pizzeria destroyed, showing everything, and it goes to the safe room with Cassidy, the child, one of the ghost kids, looking at Afton in his suit, struggling, and he lifts his hand up, and then his hand just falls on the floor, like he's just struggling. And Cassidy locks the door, and that's when the movie ends. And then the Living Tombstone song plays on, which I really liked. And then the credit scenes. This is where I'm going to talk about one of the animatronics I didn't like in this movie, which I didn't even want to be in this movie. Balloon Boy. So we have Corey Kenshin in the taxi, and he wakes up and says, "Red sign," and looks next to him, and Balloon Boy's there, and he screams, and that's where it ends the movie. Balloon Boy's design is the most worst design and most terrifying design I've ever seen for a Balloon Boy. He's actually like a little jump scare in a few scenes of the movies, like in a lot of the scenes, like in like the cabinet, in like when Mike goes inside the janitor room, he's there and everything. He's like a little Easter egg thing. But yeah. And then after that we hear the puppets. Right after I think, oh why, they should have the puppet in it in the end. We have the music box playing from the original FNAF 2. So that means the next movie is going to be FNAF 2. And that's where we're going to leave this video off. Hope you enjoyed. I really like this movie. I hope you did as well. Obviously a few little like things I didn't like. Obviously we're going to have a lot of some things that people don't like about movies. But yeah, great movie. Like worth waiting a few years for. But yeah, anyway. Remember to subscribe, hit the notification button, and an awesome upload by me. And bye bye.